Are you struggling with low levels of energy, not feeling energized? Then this video is precisely the one you have been looking for, because I will be specifically talking about ways on how to find out what gives you energy, and I will explain to you how to get more energy. We often feel the very best when we are full of energy. Most of us, however, don't go directly for the things that give us energy in a conscious way, but instead we subconsciously try to get energy in indirect ways. Now, it is very rare to ask ourselves, what will give me energy in this moment? But it is this exact tool that I am suggesting you add to your personal toolbox. The first thing that I'm going to suggest you to do is to compile a very long list with all the things that give you energy. The longer, the better. It contains all the things that specifically energize you and the things that feed you. What gives you energy? Ask yourself, what gives me energy? I want you to make sure to include things that give you energy on a mental, physical, and emotional level. Now, it's important to realize and understand that everybody's list is going to be completely different. What gives you energy is not necessarily going to be something that gives someone else energy. Something that you enjoy doing might be something that somebody else experiences as an energy taker, right? You want to compile a list that is specific to your needs, that is specific to the things that energize you, and you don't necessarily want to look at other people, their activities. Of course, you can get inspiration from what they are doing, but it's really important that this list is created for you and you alone. It's important to compile this list on different days. You don't want to take a whole day and just jot down all the ideas that give you energy, because in certain moments you will not be able to come up with activities that energize you. For example, when you're feeling depleted and down, usually you will not have the mental capacity and space to come up with the ideas. I suggest that you actually just go about your day and notice whenever you do a certain activity that energizes you. I will now give you a few examples that apply to my own life that I discovered over the years of paying attention to my energy givers. For example, going for a walk, cooking something, creating something, calling a friend, connecting with someone, receiving cuddles, giving cuddles, reading a book, discovering new music, exploring a new topic, learning something. There is an endless list of things that actually energize me, and whenever I feel depleted, I pull up this list and I keep it in my phone and I just pick one or two things and I go do those. And I guarantee you that if you do this, if you acquire this skill, if you apply these tips, that you will feel an increase in energy almost immediately. Now that you've done that, I want to give you 3 more suggestions that can help you to gain more energy. First of all, it's not just about figuring out the things that give you energy. It is equally as important to learn about the things that take your energy. So what you want to do is you don't want to only compile a list of your energy givers, you also want to create a list of energy takers. Now, how do you discover the energy takers? Usually it is these activities that when you engage in them, you feel crappy afterwards, you feel depleted afterwards, you feel guilty afterwards. For example, for me, I used to be a huge people pleaser. So whenever I was trying to please other people to gain their acceptance, I felt crappy afterwards because I was fishing for their attention. I was fishing for their validation. And so it didn't give me energy, it took me energy because I was actually abandoning myself in order to gain their acceptance. This is a very big example of what used to be an energy taker for me and still is. However, I am a lot more aware now of these situations, and so I don't do this anymore. Another example of an energy taker for me is staying up too late and sleeping in the next day. I feel crappy when I do that. I know that if I stay up after 12 a.m., it's not good for me. I wake up late, I feel sluggish, and it drains my energy. So learning this about myself allowed me to change my habits and create a routine that forces me to go to bed earlier and also wake up earlier. And it's actually an energy giver for me to wake up early and to experience the morning. So I include these in my daily routines so I can reap the benefits of the energy givers. After compiling the list of energy takers, it's important to figure out how to remove as much of these from your life as possible. Of course, you don't want to completely remove all the energy takers all the time. Sometimes pleasing someone a little bit for your own benefit or for your own gain is absolutely normal and it's totally fine. However, you don't want to build your life around pleasing other people and abandoning your own needs. The second suggestion I want to offer you to gain more energy is to meet your needs directly and go for the things that give you energy in a direct way. One of the things in today's day and age that makes it harder for people to gain energy is because they go about it in roundabout ways. I used to try to gain energy indirectly, and I wasn't clear on stating my needs to myself and other people. So that caused me to actually engage in activities that were more energy takers rather than energy givers. Like I said earlier, this hardly pays off because you are almost fishing for energy. You're not really actually taking action towards gaining energy from within, right? You're trying to take it in indirect ways and it doesn't really leave you energized. It most likely will leave you depleted. So it's very important to go directly for your needs and to be very clear on those. The third suggestion is to figure out things you love doing simply for the sake of doing them. There is this notion of you need to have a purpose you work towards and this will energize you all the time. This is, I believe, not true. I am working towards a goal that I set out for myself every single day, and still I feel very depleted sometimes. So if you're dealing with energy depletion, it usually pays off more to engage in things you love to do, which give you an immediate feeling of fulfillment, right? If you focus on your long-term goals, they can seem so far away that it can actually feel like it's draining you. You feel demotivated because you know you have such a long way to go still. When you're in a depleted state, you want to focus on the things you love doing that almost immediately energize you. A way to marry this with your long-term vision is, for example, for myself, this channel is my long-term vision. I want to create this channel into something big. I want to reach a lot of people. Now, creating something for me is an energy giver. So whenever I feel depleted, I can create a video, I can write a script, and it energizes me and it builds towards this long-term goal that I have. So I combine the two. But if I just only focus on my long-term achievements, this will not give me energy in the moment itself. This will not energize me immediately. And thus, I suggest you to find things that you love doing for the sake of doing them and then go do that. And if they add to building your long-term goals, that is a double win. I'm not saying to take your focus off of your long-term goals and achievements, but energy depletion is usually about filling your own cup first, which will then create the necessary space to figure out what to aim in life. So if you feel depleted, it is very difficult to know where you want to head. It's very difficult to get clear on your long-term goals. So by filling up your own cup first, you create the inner space to tune in with what you really care about, and then you can, in a fully energized state, pursue those goals. I want to add that it's also very important to keep in mind that you want to fill your days with your energy givers on a daily basis. The more you can include these things, the better. This way, you can maintain your energized state over an extended period of time. You don't want to fall into the trap of only engaging in the energy giving activities when you feel depleted. You want to include these things in your life on a daily basis because they show you that you care enough about yourself to engage in the activities that energize you. So that's it for today's video. I thank you for being here. I thank you for paying attention, and I hope you learned something today. If you like this video, make sure you hit like, because when you hit like, the algorithm says, this must be a good video. let me recommend it to more people. And this really helps me out, and it potentially helps other people out too, especially if they need a video like this in their lives. And if you feel like you would like to add something to the things I just said, feel free to leave a comment. I reply to all of them, and I think it's a great way to connect with both me and the other viewers, because you create some kind of community feeling. And if you're lurking here and you're seeing my face for the billionth time, consider subscribing. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. And as always, thanks for watching.